Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your man Chuck CREEKMUR, aka Jigsaw, and we are here right now. One of the illest rappers on the planet. He can
Hey.
thrive and survive in a pandemic during an international uprising. The man from South Carolina, none other than Nick Grant. What's going on, brother? How you
What's
doing?
up, man? How you feeling, man? Thank you for having me, bro.
Yeah, man, it's good to talk to you. It's been a minute, man. It's been a minute.
Nah,
You
for
know,
sure.
we
You been you
obviously we touch base every now and then, but
absolutely
not since 2020. Not
right,
really. You know what I'm saying?
for sure.
um, this is pretty much the universal first question of just about every interview we do these days is, how are you doing?
Man, other than being on social media, like inheriting everybody else's trauma,
Right,
every day, I'm
right.
good, bro. I'm like, I'm not one of them people that's just programmed. I kind of just always been the kid that's just did what he wanted to do at all times. So, but other
Right.
than that, man, just trying to figure out ways like, you know, to be of assistance in other people's lives in these times. I know everybody ain't like doing well, whether it's financially, spiritually. So if I have the energy to, to assist somebody in any way, I'm there. So I'm doing
Yeah,
good, man. Long story short, I'm doing good.
that's a wonderful thought. I have had my challenges like legitimately. Like I was super positive, and then like Nick Cannon like lost his job, and I was like, yo, Nick, that's like I felt bad. Like I felt like depression. Like what's going on right now? Like he's one of the good guys. I know people are calling him names right now, but I've been around Nick enough, So it's like my point is, it's like the little things, not
Right,
not
for
so
sure.
much the big evil things always that bring you down. You know,
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely, for sure.
for sure. Now you have this EP that you just dropped. God bless the child.
Yes, sir.
Really an amazing work. I've listened to it quite a few times. Just first of all, just talk about the EP. What brought you to this point, and what were you looking to accomplish with the EP?
I mean, I have my own selfish reasons, which is like, I want to show people that I'm the best rapper in the world. If we put all the rappers in the room, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I feel like I'm gonna come out on top. Which any MC should feel like that, but I really feel like that, like genuinely. But outside of that selfish reason, I had already had a project done with my good friend Tay Beats, who's an amazing producer, not beat maker, but producer. Um, it's from the TDE camp, of course. So just having that project done, and then so much stuff started happening this year where it was like we started the year off with Kobe dying and then coronavirus and all of these different things that happened, things that showed you that tomorrow's not promised, man. You gotta like put your best foot forward. So it was like I had to use my voice. I had to amplify my voice as far as the message and stuff that I wanted to put out, because this project was inspired by Nina Simone and Billie Holiday. Billie Holiday's quote was "God bless the child," and Nina Simone's quote was, an artist's duty is to reflect the times. So I felt like if I wasn't doing that, being I hadn't put out a project in 2 years, it's time, and it's time for me to say something of significance. So that was my role, that was my approach, and I had certain intentions for this project, and hopefully I qualified and they met them.
Yeah, I mean it's dense, and you really have to listen to it a few times.
For
Not
sure.
not that not that that's not a bad thing. I mean, you don't have to listen. You can listen to it one time,
Yeah.
and it's good to the ear. But once you start getting a little past, the beats and just on the surface the rhymes,
Right.
you start to hear a lot of really witty stuff.
Yeah.
So I applaud you for that. I mean, definitely, you got me Googling things. I'm like, okay, wait a minute, what's that? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh man, I
You know,
appreciate you.
yeah, no, I appreciate it, bro, and I hope everyone else appreciates it too. In that we need people like yourself holding it
Nah,
down
thank you.
continually.
For
But
sure.
I'm gonna ask you what I was gonna wait until like the last line, but you mentioned it. This has fueled TDE rumors already. When I did go to Google you, it said Nick Grant. You know how it pops up a preloaded search.
Yeah.
That means a lot of people are doing this search. It said Nick Grant TDE. So you know what's the status? Is there any truth whatsoever to these rumors?
I don't know. We just got to see, man. I don't want to shoot myself in the foot.
Yeah.
You know, what I do know is like these are like just some of the most solid people like in the music industry. Not even in the music industry, but just in life in general. Like, just solid people, man. If I like punches one of my good friends, I can call him and ask him about anything. We don't even talk about music like that. So, you know, just great, solid people. All these people that are around Kendrick Lamar, Top Dog, just meeting these people. These are some of the most genuine people I've ever ran across in my life. So, you know, but anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Yeah, shout out to Punch. I mean, is this a play? I mean, you would want to. I mean, you would want to be a part of that team. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, like it's like the '96 Bulls. You know
right.
And I think I would be a great addition to that team. So, you know, I think people would love to see that, you know, and I can kind of get a solid glimpse of, you know, because when you make moves like that, everything changes. You know what I'm saying? You get over there and it's like you start to see like different things happening as far as your career. Because I feel like I am one of the most underrated, underappreciated artists in this hip hop thing. So to make that move is like, all right, cool, you get your shot. And I know if I'm the guy that gets the shot at that level, it's like, man, you know, not saying I didn't have, you know, a shot in certain ways, but I was under the tutelage of just different people with different visions, and I wasn't able to enforce my vision all the way. But over there, I feel like, you know, they kind of get it. But just alone, just having the respect from some of the people that are considered the greatest artists ever in hip hop, just to get those salutes and those, you know, that respect is like, you know, if I never get the attention or if I never get it, I'll still continue to do this.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. You mentioned something that I was curious about. You know, when I met you, you were with Shaka and the team. I believe Jason.
Jason
Jeter. I'm sorry, man.
Nah,
Been a minute. But yeah, you were being managed by those guys. Signed to Epic. Your new project says Nick Grant Music. What's the present status for you?
I'm an independent artist at the moment, you know. Just kind of figuring out my thing, my whole rebrand, and I know you see the hair.
Yeah.
just my whole rebrand and just trying to figure out what direction I want to go as an artist. And not even figuring it out. I really just figure it out. It's at this point just saying what I feel and just following my heart and staying true to the craft. Something I feel like I always done, but you know, along the journey with Epic and Culture Republic, there were a lot of misfires. Not misfires that were like detrimental to my career, but misfires that, you know, lessons. I would say that. I would say things that happened that I took lessons from to know not to do in this new chapter in my career. So, yeah.
Were you in any way disappointed? Were there any things that the majors, you know, disillusionment? I mean, I think everybody that goes into their career goes into it with like almost pie in the sky, and then when you get behind the curtain, a lot of things are, you know, very very different.
Man, very different. And I think for me, like it's like, okay, I understand the thing of like moving through these labels, and if one person says they like you, somebody else that, you know, respects this person that said they like you, they just going to say they like you by default, just because they just naturally want to be into the same thing, you know, dick riding culture. Excuse my French, but that's what it is. So I understand why certain things don't move at a label, because everybody's not really, they can just say they like your project and haven't even heard it. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of understand why certain things don't move if, you know, the head of the snake doesn't move, so to speak. But I think for me, it's the moral code of certain individuals in the music industry that I was like, that was like a culture shock for me. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
damn, you would really do that? Oh, this is how you move? Certain people that I respect, I would see them and
Yeah.
see them move a certain kind of way. And
Hmm.
it's like, you know, I can make $1,000,000. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I can make all the money in the world, so to speak, and still this is not worth it. You know, these actions
Yeah.
and the way you moving is not worth it to me. I'd rather be broke and just write
Yeah.
rhymes in my room. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
I'd rather move like that. I'm just that kind of dude. It's never that serious to me where I gotta compromise my integrity or myself. So it's just different things that I see where I'll take my losses and I'll detach from the situation.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah,
if
I
I
appreciate.
feel like we don't share the same moral code, so to speak. But
Yeah.
the industry stuff, I kind of already had an understanding going
Hmm.
into it.
Yeah.
So, you know, but I think it's all about finding people that just fit your moral code, you know, in
Yeah.
life and the music business, just in general. You know, that's what
Yeah.
it's about.
Now you're in LA, which is
Mm.
probably the most immoral. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
After all of
Like,
that,
yeah,
after all of that,
yo,
I'm here.
shout
Hey,
out to
but
LA. I love it there. I mean, I really do. But it's an interesting place, you know, particularly from an entertainment standpoint. It's
right.
you know, yeah, it's special.
I think the most of the people that act like that, why LA have this bad stigma, so to speak, because a lot of people that are from here don't really act like that. You got to come here and get with the real niggas. You get with the real niggas, everything will
Yeah,
go how it's supposed to go. You surround yourself around that right energy. You know, everything will go how it's supposed to go. But it's people that come out here and perpetrate that's not even from here that act and trick other people that come here and sell them the same dream. But you know, luckily for me, I just came here and just got with some of the most solid people I ever came across in my life. So that's important. That's important as well. Who you surround yourself by. It's never about the place. It's
yeah,
about who's it's fake. It's fake people everywhere. You know, I
mm,
lived in Atlanta for years. It's the same thing goes on, but it's all about, you know, where you position yourself when you get off that plane. That's that's important. That's
yeah.
important.
What's your favorite bar that you ever said yourself?
My favorite
Do you have a
bar.
favorite?
Man, I have one that people always come like people that like love like certain records that love certain records of mine. They always come and repeat this bar. Like some of my best friends, they say, if you ain't moving my speed, then move along for cheese, nigga squeeze like crackers in uniform. And it's like
Yeah,
that's like one of the ones where they like,
yeah,
ah man, that's nuts.
nice.
That's nuts. And I did that on like one of like Biggie freestyle or something.
Okay, okay,
But like I have so many that I just love, man.
yeah.
I got a lot. I got a lot that I love. A lot of bars. What's your favorite joint?
It's funny. I was listening to Black Windows,
Mm.
and you said I'm a mix of old Jigga and Fela Kuti, and I was like, yo. Then I was like, does he mean old Jigga meaning Jigga now, or does he mean young Jigga back in the
young
day? And
young Jigga. Young
right,
Jigga. Like I would never disrespect Hove and say, yo, I'm like Hove now. I would never do
right,
that. I haven't put in that much work.
right.
Um and everybody I feel like in hip hop, they always want to like emulate the end result.
Right.
I would never do that. That's disrespectful. So for
Yeah.
me, it was like I'm old Jigga. And I still feel like that's kind of blasphemous because shit, he was way more advanced than I was at my age. So
Yeah. Yeah.
as far as like certain business moves and different things. But
What?
um
But then there's Fela Kuti. That's the that's a. I mean I mean that's next level. Honestly, even with Jay-Z in the same bar.
yeah. Nah, these are just people that I like. You know, I'm not well versed in Fela Kuti, but I just remember
Hmm.
like taking certain classes, music classes in high school,
Yeah.
and
Right.
teachers would like school me on Fela Kuti, or
Okay.
you know, going to my grandfather's house, which was like a musical temple shrine,
Yeah.
so to speak, and going over there on the weekends. You know, when my mom was like busy, she would drop me off over there. My grandma would drop me off over there to go see him. And in his
Right.
latter years, I would like pick up all this game musically. So
Yeah.
not just
Yeah.
musically, just about our culture, just as black people. So all of this stuff, like more so then than now, you know, because as a kid, you soaking in all this stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of that stuff that I say now is like just knowledge that I got from these older people back then. So
Mm.
I'm like grateful
I'm
for
sorry.
that.
Okay, got you. And that's from South Carolina.
Yeah, that's South
Now,
Carolina.
yeah, of course, of course. Now, one of your BET infamously, I don't know if banned is the right word, but restricted coverage on Little Brother allegedly for being too intelligent. You know,
Wow.
back in the day, they were kind of coming in the midst of, down south at that time was a lot of crunk and a lot of, cash money, you know what I mean? And then Little Brother comes out of North Carolina being too intelligent. So when I
Mm.
listen to a lot of artists now, and then I compare to you, I'll be like, yo, is he too intelligent? Like, I mean, I think that sounds stupid, no pun
Nah,
intended.
it doesn't. You're spot on, bro.
Yeah.
not like to toot my own horn or say that
Yeah.
I'm too intelligent, but just I don't know. I just feel like it's just I'm speaking to a certain type of person. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And that is where that person is like limited in the world. You're like,
Yeah.
we're special people that really love this thing, not just because of the wordplay, but just once again that moral code. Like hip hop
Yeah.
was much different. Like
Yeah.
no writers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
That.
Certain messages in the music that we couldn't talk about. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, we only uplifted people that actually had something to say, people that were real, people that were genuine. Like most
Yeah.
of these people that we admire now, they can't even walk through their own neighborhoods. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Facts.
Most of these people that we love and we say we love, but it's just a lot of coon shit going on, and
Yeah.
these people run from fights. They ain't even like real dudes out
Mm-hmm.
here. They ain't even like
Yeah.
genuine people. Not saying I'm a tough guy. I'm like the realest person, but
Yeah. I
you
know.
know, I know how like things supposed to go. I know
Yeah.
how things supposed to be. I got OGs. So if I'm out of line, I got people that'll pull my coattail and say, nah, that's not right. So
Yeah.
it's just all of those elements that are like missing. And what's even weirder, those elements are missing. And they laugh at the people that still respect those elements, which is like
Yeah.
crazy. It's like the
Yeah.
drug, the drug abuser laughing at
Mm.
the guy that sells the drugs. It's like,
Yeah.
what are we talking about? Like
Right.
we ain't really competing on the same level. So, and I hate when guys that I respect dumb themselves down to that level, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like, nah, man, certain things are important. So hopefully the people that are watching me can kind of understand what I'm saying and understand the points that I try to make in my music.
Yeah, I appreciate the principles, man, and I actually feel like right now it's actually not a bad time, and that's not even to complain. I was giving my cousin my top five. I had you in there. I had
Hey.
yeah, no, for sure. I had but it was a good cross section, Conway, the Machine,
Mm-mm.
this kid, Big Baby Scumbag. I mean, it was like a little bit of everything. It wasn't no one type of hip hop. So, I definitely gotta, really salute you for that.
Nah, thank you, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
yeah. What's the state of your dreams right now? Dreaming Out Loud was the previous album,
Yeah,
and it said a lot. The title alone said a lot.
right.
Now, after you've been in the game for a while, are the dreams different? Are they the same? Have you?
Man, I don't put so much stress on myself like I once have. Um,
Okay.
I think now for me the thing is like just having a voice, man. Like I'm gonna always be good. I'm just one of those people that's always gonna be good. I feel like I'm one of God's favorite people. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Um, I feel like I'm always gonna be good. I'm always gonna be blessed just because, you know, but just because of my heart. He knows my heart. So I just feel like that's always one thing I got going for me. Even if nothing else ever pans out, I feel like I'm gonna always be good. But the thing for me is just having a voice, just having something to say, just having something people can relate to and resonate. I don't care if it's one person. If it can change one person and make one person, you know, have a better position in life and understand that, I'm not the only person going through this, then my job is done, man. Like everything else is extra.
Yeah.
So yeah, as opposed to, going back to what you just said, me just my dream, so to speak, just, you know, of course we want everything. We want to be looked at as the greatest rappers of all time, one of the greatest rappers of all time. But you know, I feel like people know that already in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it's like, you know, everything else is just extra. But it's
Yeah.
my mental is like different on the state of the game because I came in so wide eyed and so innocent to where it was like, man, you know, I'm watching everything and this thing, you know, moves so fast. Even though I kind of heard stories, this thing
Yeah.
just moves so fast. Like you could be, they don't really care about you like that. You know what I'm saying? They shift these artists out. I'm
Yeah.
looking at a board. The first day I walk into a label, they got 97 artists.
Mm.
And I'm looking at the board. I'm like, yo, only 5 of these people are out. And you telling me, you know,
Yeah.
some of these artists been here for 3 years. It's
Mm.
like, man, that's crazy. So, you know, um, just a better understanding, just like not letting nobody sweet talk me. I'm like very defensive now because this is my life. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So, but it's also always about just genuine people, the way certain people do business. And once you
Yeah.
get in those situations, you know, you always safe. You don't really have nothing to worry about because they understand your story and they come from your
Mm-hmm.
story. So it's a little
So,
different.
do you have any? Are you dropping anything else soon, or are you gonna let this cook a little bit, let this marinate? Um,
Um, I feel like this thing grew legs. This was supposed to set up my album.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it took it went further than what I thought. So
Good.
now I'm in a place where I gotta shoot visuals for this thing and,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, do different things to kind of expand it because people actually, you know, care about it. So, you know,
Yeah.
I just want to make it make sense. As far as the album coming out, but I thought it was gonna be this, you know how things come and go. Some might last a week and then you on to something else. But I have this album. I have 2 albums the last album, Sunday Dinner, I've been trying to put out since the beginning of my career. Um,
Mm.
but now I'm in a space where it's like, you know, just at E once again having a conversation with Punch, and he's like, "Yo, you got a dope story. You got to tell your story." So I have this project coming out called Nick, where I like caught a charge, and I was facing like time, like a shitload of time actually, and
Yeah.
um, just talking about all of those emotions that I went through at that time that I caught this charge, and you know, just different things happening in my life, and man, who fell out, all the friends I lost, you know, who came back, people thought I was done, and just talking about all of those emotions. This is probably my most personal project, this Nick album. So
Okay.
I'm very
Yeah.
excited about that one.
What trouble did you get into? I heard that in the interview with Charlton or C. Dot, I should say. My bad.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, Nick seems like, he's like seems like a real, like a nice guy, thoughtful dude. You know what I
No, I
mean? Like
am. I
what?
am. No, I am.
Yeah,
I
I'm
am.
just like, what could he have done? What kind of trouble could he have gotten into? Are you able to speak on that, or is that something too
Yeah, no, it's
personal?
over. I caught a robbery charge in like 2012.
Okay.
Um, yeah, that was it. So it's just like once that happened, like a whole bunch of things in my life just kind of fell apart because people thought, I knew this was gonna happen. You know, the
Yeah.
environments we come from. It's like at some point you only got 2 options. Because
Yeah.
very few people make it out of here. It's rare that people make it out of these conditions and these circumstances. So it's like, he's over. So it's just
Yeah.
all of those emotions that I felt, you know what I'm
Right.
saying, at that time.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so
Gotcha.
it was basically that,
It's good to know you did some dirt, son. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yo, the
Me,
game be like,
listen, imagine me robbing somebody, right? That's crazy.
yeah, right.
Like
It is
nah.
kind of crazy. I never forget one time Angela Yee, she said, I don't trust nobody that don't drink. I wasn't a drinker at the time. I was like, what you mean you don't trust nobody? What does
Right.
this mean?
Yeah.
What are we talking? Like, what is this, a secret cult or something?
Right,
A drink?
yeah.
You know what I mean? I had no idea what that meant, really.
Word.
But, yeah. But yeah, I see I let C Dot in the chat. He's coming through, just watching
Yeah.
us right now. But
And he's sharp. He's gonna be special, man. If he
yeah,
keeps this
man.
up, like he's pretty sharp with everything. So that was a
Yeah.
great interview.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure, for sure. So what's next with you, man? Like, are you are you seeing other avenues out in LA? You know, is acting in the possibilities? Like, what are you thinking other than
Um,
rap?
man, I'm definitely thinking acting. That's like always been one of my childhood dreams. Ice Cube is like one of my favorite rappers. So to see him transcend music and do film and all of these other things is like, man, like I would love to do that. I would love to be like carry on tradition as far as hip hop goes and get into acting and get into film. Like that's really my way to transition out of music because I don't want to be the 50-year-old rapper, the 45-year-old rapper. Not to say that anything is wrong with that, but um I'm just kind of chill. I don't want to do this forever. I don't want to be out here. So I want to kind of just do film and, find other talent and put other talent on and let them live out their dreams. So definitely acting and directing.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna let you say that though. You know why? Because there's literally too many dope rappers that have bust through 40. Yeah. So Royce, we got like Styles P,
No, there
Busta.
there there are exceptions. There are exceptions. These guys
Yeah,
are like god tier
yeah,
MCs. So they are Royce, Hove, Nas, you know,
yeah,
it's the list goes on. They're definitely top tier MCs. They're definitely exceptions to this rule, but
yeah.
not saying I won't be. Once I
I think,
put my work in.
you'll see, you'll see. In due
Yeah,
time, you'll see. I,
yeah. If I'm still there, then cool.
right,
Yeah, I'll keep going. But
right. I remember the Game had a bar. He said something like, you 36 and you still rapping, and then he turned 36 or whatever, 38, and
he's
he's
40
literally,
now.
yeah. I was like, but Game's still like, really dope with the
And he's sharp.
pen.
Yeah, he's one of the
Yeah,
best. Like I think his catalog is severely underrated. You know,
severely, yeah,
yeah, severely
severely underrated,
for sure. So
definitely.
nah, it's definitely exceptions. Like if I'm still there and I'm like, people look at me like God tier at that time, then
Mm-hmm.
then cool, I'll keep going. But I don't want to. When I say that, I just don't want to be the guy that's like he's still going. Like ain't nobody listening to that shit.
Yeah,
Because
nah.
we have those too. We have those
Yeah,
guys too. You
yeah,
know,
we definitely had those guys, and I'll be wanting to tell them it's hard. You can't really, you know what I mean? You got to understand, like, we be getting
for sure.
coverage. We get people want interviews all the time, and you be like, bro,
Right.
like really, bro? Like, there's a lot of new talent you probably want to cultivate, bro. Like, why don't
Yeah.
you get a little young rapper and bring them up right? You know what I'm
Exactly. Like
saying?
lift as you climb, my man. Don't be out here just ruin it because you could have had something like extremely special when you first started, and you
Yeah,
keep going and tarnish your legacy a little bit. They don't even respect the old shit like they used to. So you gotta at some point you gotta chill. If
yeah,
it's not still there, like
yeah,
because
for sure.
like Hove, like he can. I feel like at this point he can do it till he 80, and that only
Yeah,
gives the longevity as far as careers. I think he's the mark. Wherever he
yeah.
stops is wherever everybody got to go. You ain't gonna really go past that. So.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yo, I just want to salute you, bro. I want to say thank you for your time. And I want
No,
to say
thank you,
thank you for
brother.
your dedication, man, and your moral code. Like that's something that um hey man, only a few of us. I put myself in there, man, because we could all rise
Man,
a lot faster if we took that
for
whatever
sure.
that other road is.
Cause you don't have to do this, bro. Like for you to like just say like, yo, I like this guy, and you've been like that since day one. You never changed. You always been solid. You always tell me what you like. You always been rocking with me since day one, and I think that's good as you know people that are like OGs in this culture to do that to us young guys, man. That's important. Um, so I thank you for that, man. Your moral code as well. So just always being solid, always being genuine, and always being brutally honest, even when you don't like something. So I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
definitely, definitely. All right, man. We're gonna catch up. Anything you need, just let us know.
Yes, sir.
We're
Likewise.
gonna, we're gonna continue on with that code.
Likewise. My man. Thank you,
All
bro.
right.
Love.
Salute.
Yes, sir.